And welcome back to Applied Griffins. I'm Tyrell, and this is Interstellar Rift. And today, I'm trying out a few things here. So, over the last, yesterday, whenever, we were chatting in the Discord channel, a bunch of the patrons, and we actually so one of our new patrons brought up a concept, I guess, where you can have a shield generator, a small hydrogen generator, and a battery, and then sufficient solar panels where you can actually have the small shield generator and this system on its own power group, and have it be completely powered by the solar panels when it's loaded, when it's charged. And then be able to have 1,000 shields that are always on and doesn't drain your your hydrogen, at least. So I put that to test in the Garland, the big ship, but I came here in this little ship here, so the big lot of solar panels and stuff, just to kind of get an idea of how this would work. Now, I just realized something. If you, I guess if you have a power group selected and then add more items, it'll add them all to that group. So that's something important to note. I do believe if you were to right-click, no, single group. If you click again on any of these items, it will then remove them. Second thing you can do, so you see here I have a hydrogen power generator, which I almost pointed my finger, that's funny, which is this one sitting over here. If I click it once, it'll say exclude one of that type. If you click this, it'll actually click all of them. Now, I don't know why that doesn't, there's only one, well, I suppose there's two, whatever. In this group, there's only one. So 343, so that means the battery obviously generates 300, so I can get rid of that. That tells me I have 43. Now, for the shield generator to run, when it's a small shield generator, when it's idle, it will take 37 ticks of energy. And something you'll notice if you look at solar panels, every 3 produces 1 tick. So they're not exactly, well, maybe it's a bit more than 3, but in 3-ish. So they're, okay, I dropped down to 37 now. So now, theoretically, I should be producing, with that much solar panels, would be producing sufficient power to run that one shield generator. Just to give you an idea of the, it's not exactly minor, I guess. Alright, so we have our ship, so now we can build it. Find it in here. I should do this. Well, it should be that hard to find. Test power shield. Did it work? No. Ship constructor. There you go. Now we should have a little ship out in space, waiting for us to mess around with. And there we go. Yes, I know it's a small shield, that's why I stuck it in there. Right, oh, of course I got absolutely no lights, which is wonderful. But, okay, so here we have, we have these 3 parts here. Currently, this thing is generating nothing, and this thing's probably doing just about nothing because it's going to go at a really slow rate. And I just realized I do not have a let's do this in here. I don't have a panel, but if I look at shields, you go to graph options, you can see I'm generating 37 from solar, and my device drain is 37. I've got a deficit, obviously, because it's trying to charge, I believe it's trying to charge the battery. What I don't know is, do I have shields? I do. So okay, so See, that's something I don't understand. Maybe someone can explain that to me. So right now it says I have 1,000 shields. I don't know what the 0 means. 0, 1,000, 1,000. I don't know what the first number means. I'll have to look that up. So, technically right now, even with no hydrogen, which obviously I won't be able to move. Oh, did something just hit me? It did. And of course I have absolutely no power. Well, almost no power. Not enough to manage those little boosters. Which means I'm merrily leaving this place. Alright, well, I'm back. So, I had the ship out in space, and it got hit by an asteroid, and it had no power, and obviously, so I have these little maneuvering thrusters here, which should be sufficient to hold it in place, but there was no power for that. And it just went flying off into space. I run after it with the Garland and salvage it. So I have actually just added a few more solar panels. I've added some thrusters on the outside. I ended up adding in some lights so you can see what's going on. I've added one of these two screen panels. And I guess we'll do take 2. Try and see if we can get this to do what it's supposed to do. So back to here. I'm on the Garland right now, so I'm actually going to just go build. And there we go, build it, and build. Okay, ship constructed, yay. Now, let's go back to it, and let's see if I, see if I can do it this time. So, I'm back to this. Yeah. Oh, wait. Now, I'll take some hydrogen with me. Try that again. Right, we're back. You can see whatever. You can see that, so current output is 0 out of 1,000. To me, that tells me the shields aren't working. Whereas here it shows a full bar. And I looked it up, I couldn't find what that first number actually means. So, whatever. Let's just go and do this. Okay, now I should have enough hydrogen that will allow this thing to start to... let's go here. Charge up everything. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, geez, that's small. Alright, so solar is 37. Hydrogen output is, as you see, is varying. The stored power is... Did I not have the... Huh. The battery output is 74. Available is 2... Doesn't really make sense, does it? Oh, of course. Sorry. Okay. So my hydrogen can generate 150. And the batteries will pull up to 1,000 while they're charging, and then they will output 300. You should look at that go. So in time, this thing will eventually start to fill up a little bit. You can see there's something happening. And if you look here, I have my shield output now, so I have actually that. And if you look over here, you'll see obviously that is going down as it's being used to charge not only that one but also this one over here. So this generator over here should be powering this battery right now, as well as life support, things like that. Oh, no power. Huh. I want to add a few more generators. But just trying to get this test to work is kind of the pain. But anyways, the point is you can see that that guy, what he's doing, you can see that the device drain is 37. And you can see the total drain is... Oh, okay, so this is what somebody else was saying is kind of an interesting thing. So the hydrogen is generating 150. The solar is generating 37. Which should see you at what, 187? But because the battery has some power, it's also producing power while it's storing power. I don't know if that's bonus power that you're getting or what, but as you can see, it is actually charging up the batteries. If I go back to the other group, you'll see that that one is also going. That one only has 10 solar. Wow. I guess I didn't have that many extra panels. Battery output is 300, which is interesting. Total drain is 10. That must be from maybe this thing, or maybe the wow, life support. Clearly, I need to add a little bit more. So if I go back to the garland, let's go and go there. Okay, I've got power for this thing. See, do I have any oxygen on board? Yeah, I was almost dead, I guess. Yeah, I got some oxygen. Good. Just gonna grab some oxygen. I don't really need that much. And then, come on. I can go upstairs to the ship editor and go modify this guy. And so you can see I added a bunch of solar panels here, but really it's not that much. Most of this area, as you saw before, all but like a few over there, it's just kind of ridiculous, but that's all for use with the shields. So if I go back to shields, you'll see that that's what I currently have specified in shields, and that is currently in the what's in the default group. And interestingly, why are these? I would kind of expect those to show as default, wouldn't they? Why aren't these not showing? Oh, I guess they are. What about these? These say default group. Oh, why? 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 Oh, there. Really? So where were these guys before? Not assigned to anything? I suppose. I don't know. That doesn't add that much. I mean, so a few clicks, a few ticks, a few energy per tick. Whatever. You get my meaning. All right. So that is in the default group, or is it? Maybe it isn't. All right. Somehow these guys were not part of the default group, and neither was that guy. So yeah. So yes, setting up your power is quite important. Actually, having these power groups has many other benefits. But right now, if I were to escape out of here, let me save this guy quickly. Come on. There. Save over that file, and then upgrade. Should be able to do that. I think I got enough. Yep. Enough materials on board. And there's always that lag after you build. It's like the doors open, but they don't. So let's go back to this guy. Now there's a bunch of other things we'd like to try out with power groups, but this is like the basic thing right now. Alright, there we go. So we should now have power. Alright, so let's go have a look here. Let's see. So if we go to system information, no, sorry. Ship status, advanced status, and then you go to shields group, and you go to graphic options, and you'll see that it is currently pretty close to being, well, I think it goes up to like 1.2 million. And so you can see it's getting the 37 from solar, 150 from hydrogen. So it's using that that little generator over there, and at some point this will flatten out. We won't have that anymore. If we look at our default group, we can see that it's also charging. Same basic thing. That's got 16 from solar now, and total drain is 156. Device drain is 0 because there's nothing really pulling any power. This guy is apparently charged, doesn't need power. This guy is charged, doesn't need power. And oh, look at the batteries actually going up. And so are that. So, the conclusion then is that with a rather fair amount of solar, you can in fact have a shield generator, even on a large ship, that is basically always on at full blast. And then, so one of the future experiments I need to do, and I'm going to do this on the Garland as well, but I would like to configure my shield room. So maybe I'll run over to the Garland quickly and I'll show you there. I want to configure the shield room to go. I'll go there and I'll show you what it looks like right now. So that I can, in the maintenance terminal, I can go to that room, turn off all devices, which should theoretically stop all those shields from using power. And as they are currently all off, yeah, see it's offline right now. So go and turn the power on for this room. That's a bad spot for it, anyways. And then you can stop that from draining, because one of the things is, see, deactivated. Oh, hang on. Okay, good. So this door, the reason I can still open this door without having to do anything with it, is because this door belongs to this room, which allows me to open it. I suppose I can run up there. So that's the key. If you want to deactivate, like for instance, an industrial room, it's another room that I would like to deactivate. And one thing I wish that they will do differently is I just want to deactivate all of the devices on that room. I don't really care about the doors. I mean, there is a lock button for the doors, but if the doors belong to the power group for that room, it will take that as well. So here, shields. So you can see right now I have all devices turned off. What I'd like to be able to do is just turn off everything else that's in there. So if I enable this right now, you can see life support just went up. And if I go over to the shields, you'll see that my output is now going to maximum. And if I were to go over here and have a look at the ship status, and I'm going to look at, so okay, if I look at small shield, it's the same as the other one. You can see my battery has 1.5 million, device drains 37, I have 40 on solar, and so everything is balanced right now. I'm not using any power for that guy. But if I go to, which is my default group right now, I haven't got those shields in a different group right now. You'll see that there is a total drain of 7,538 because the shields are currently being charged up to max. While they're doing that, they will actually use more power. So let this guy get to its maximum here. So I am now at maximum generator output of, come on, it's not that hard, 62,000. You can do it, come on. And oh my goodness, every time I see something this, I'm like, okay, fast forward this in post. Wow, why is that? Okay, there we go, 62, right? So we got max shields now, so theoretically it should be using less power now to maintain those shields, and in fact it is. So 1,900, so it took about 7,000 while it was charging, and it now has you know, about 1,900. So the point is, it is still using some hydrogen at this point in time, and which, you know, not that great, because if I look at this view quickly, you will see that my hydrogen is coming down at, you know, pretty alarming rate there. So if I go back to my maintenance terminal, and I toggle this off, and I would like to be able to go to the cockpit and have like one of these buttons that I can click to say to enable or disable this. You can see there, look, it just dropped down to total drain of 38 because it just so happens I have another small shield generator in the lower bridge, the mining bridge, that I haven't gotten rid of yet. But now you're down to, oh yeah, shields. Okay, so now you're down, and also you can see the shields are now coming down, and eventually that will stop at like 2,000, I believe. So maybe, I mean, maybe the last number is the number that you can go. The second number is what the ship-wide output is currently set to, and the first number is what you're currently outputting. That kind of makes sense. Maybe that's what it is. Because right, I mean 6,200 is what I can do, and if I were to bring the ship-wide down, that would take care of that. Now, what I used to do before is I would come up here and I would change the ship-wide output to like, you know, over here like 10 whatever percent, and which, well, let's do that quickly. Let's go and turn this back on. See, for instance here, I'd like to have life support on, but you can't, there's no way that I can see to, you know, like just turn on them off, on and off that way. I can also, I guess, go like here. Oh, look. Oh, maybe that's how you do it. Okay. So this is currently still off. Oh, I see now. So I have to then click this again and on again. And now it's back on again. Okay. Maybe there's some trickery to be done there. Still, it does seem rather tedious at this point in time. So ship-wide output now is going to be, like you can see, it's running up to like whatever that number is. If I go over here and look at my drain, you can see it's flying all over the place. That is interesting. So right now, it's jumping between nothing and like 1,800. Which is about what it was doing before when it was fully charged. So there's no real difference, looks like anyways, between it being fully charged or fully maxed out in here in the shipwide and being partially. So if I'm reading this right, having a shipwide shield output down like this doesn't seem to make a significant improvement in terms of power. Use the same amount of power. Oops. So if I take this back to 100, come on. Wow, why do we go to 100? Really? Sometimes. There. So now back to 100. You should see pretty significant drain again. Yep, 7. So now it's going to be pegged at 7,000 something until it's fully charged again. So what do you guys think? I'm thinking it's probably better to have your shield room turned off. Unfortunately, there's no easy way. I mean, you can go here and you can turn one off like this, which will. So that's 1,250 max power drain for that generator. You can go here, turn everything off, and then turn that back on, which theoretically would leave these guys turned off, but this door, for instance, is still turned off, so I wouldn't be able to use that door. So you'd have to go and look at this room and make sure that all the doors belong to a different room, I guess. Like here, door to the engines. That's on. Okay, I don't know. I'm confused. So this guy's off. So I do have the shield generators off. Yeah, so maybe comments. What do you think? What is the right way to, within the confines of what Interstellar Rift provides us currently? What's the best way to manage something like shields? Because in a large ship like this, obviously I do want shields always, and that's where this little guy would come in, and you can just hear that something just hit the shields. So you need shields all the time. You don't want to have shields. Skrill can attack and you can get eggs right away. At least with 1,000 you have some kind of a buffer. But there's no quick way of just running out and clicking a button and getting the shields back on, the main shields. So I've got 6 large shield generators. So, what do you think? Power groups? I mean, actually, to be honest, I don't think you can do that with power groups, can you? Because I've got power groups over here, and there's no way to actually go and say, you know, turn it on or anything. I don't know what that does. That probably deletes it. So, yeah, I don't know. That it seems to me like there's still some things missing. If you had a power group, it would be cool if you could turn it off. But, all right. Well, if you liked the episode, please press the like button. Subscribe. Click the little bell so you're notified for every new video. I've been trying to get a bit more regular. Interstellar Rift, some Space Engineers videos. I just been having some technical difficulties with games lately. I don't know what's going on. But also suggest if you have any other games you'd like to see me mess around with, any specific topics you'd like me to cover. So other than that, as always, thanks for watching.